Bhavana Kevala Bhavana Kevala Bhavanamo 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 Kevala Bhavana Kevala Bhavana Kevala Bhavana Kevala Bhavana Kevala.
That was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For opening this up. That was
That's it.
wonderful.
Yeah, as you noticed, I still haven't gotten a new roll-in, but I have a really good excuse. Well, not like the other ones were bad excuses, but I have some really great news. I was working with a Pinnacle program, and I sent an email to Pinnacle and said, hey, you know, this program isn't as good as the last one, and they're sending me a brand new one, and it's like really cool because now I get to work with a good program, and next week hopefully everything will come together and I'll have a really great roll-in. But there is a difference in coming early and being able to get things set up so that you can, you know, we have good sound. So that was really, really great. And something else that we have going on is Earth Changes Media. They're going to be one of our contributing sponsors with all the information to keep you updated on the latest information in Earth Changes, what's going on. And next week, Jet Rotman from the Netherlands will be given a call. She was going to give a call today, but her computer's down, so she couldn't call this week, so she's going to call next week.
Yes, and we'll have Tulare also.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Tulare's going to be on our show, and she
Yes.
is a ballet dancer and a great friend, and she is actually going to give lessons next week on the show.
So make sure you wear something comfortable because
Right.
if we're going to get up and try it, that means that you've got to try it too because nobody's going to be watching you.
It's a perfect time.
That's it. That's it. And we have some really great guests today, and you know, it's something that's really close to my heart. Children are definitely close to my heart. And it's been said that all children are born geniuses, but it's how they are raised that distorts them. So there's a lot of things that we don't know because we don't know what we don't know until we've been taught, and sometimes what we've been taught isn't the truth. And you have to remember when you do teach your children to teach them the truth, not to lie and cover up and all that other kind of stuff. And children are just very, very important, and please don't distort them. You have to remember that mental, emotional abuse is worse than that physical abuse. So if you're telling the child that they aren't good, any negative, they're going to remember. And if you expect them to be anything different, well then why do you expect them to be anything different when you're teaching them that? So remember, teach your children what you want them to grow up to be. I mean, and you're the example. So We've got some really, really great kids. And some of you already know Elliot. Elliot is just fantastic. He has been helping us here for Aaron Elliott. Jeez. See, now I know where I got the Emily. It was the Elliot and the Emily. That's what really, really screwed me up. Well, I mean, not that it takes that much, but.
But yeah, well, we knew who you meant.
Did ya?
Yeah, I knew who you meant.
Well, I mean, he's just been so great. You know, I just found out that I spelled his name with, I don't know if it's 2 L's or 2 T's, but I even gave him the wrong spelling in the credit. Because that's something else that I did. Check out YouTube under GLoLady. I entered a Project Direct contest. So Google and YouTube and check a day in the life. Now I'm going to be quiet for a minute and I'm going to let Aaron come in and talk about all kinds of other good stuff. You ready?
Yeah, I guess I'll have to come away anyway.
Yeah, come on over here.
Yeah. You know what? Let me give you mine. And I'm going to go, well, I was going to go get another chair. Or no, there you go.
I can just stand.
You
Or
got
I
it.
can-
There you go. You want to go to camera 1?
I'll just hold it.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Camera 1?
Oh yeah, you can.
Okay, that's because I'm not.
No,
in-
that's not
Yeah,
camera
he's-
1, is it?
I don't know, but I see myself, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
Now I see
Okay,
Shaitanya.
camera
All
one.
right, all right. All right, my name is Aaron, and I'm actually an intern here at URTV. I go to the school called. Low seat. I go to the school called Odyssey Community School, and it's a school in Montford, and it's pretty new. It's started last year with a couple of parents and a few dedicated teachers that wanted to start it. So that's where I go, and I have some friends that are going to be showing their talent, and yes, tell their names, right? Okay, sorry.
I was going to say, you're on this camera.
Oh, okay, yes, now I am. I see. And so I wanted to bring them here because Lisa told me about how they're going to do this show called Show Your Asheville. And I was thinking, in the beginning, I had a lot of kids that were interested, but then it started to die down just because I guess the holiday season and stuff. But I'm glad that Chaitanya, my friend here, if we could, there he is, wave to the camera. And you can't see Kayla, but if Kayla, you want to come in the picture for a minute?
Yeah, come on in, sweetheart.
Oh, cool. We're moving the camera. There's Kayla, and she goes to my school too. And then Emily, come on up, Emily. This is Emily. She's my sister, Emily Elliott Gaines. Stand by Chaitanya. She's gonna play the violin too. So I'm really happy that. Yeah, he's on there. I'm really happy that they all came, and it's not a turnout, but hey, at least Chaitanya plays guitar really nicely, and Kayla knows Irish step dancing, and my sister knows violin. So it's a little mix up right there,
Yeah, but that's okay. We're really glad that the three of
Yeah,
you are here. And
It's great. So I guess first my sister is going to go, so we need to set up a mic for her.
okay,
So
all right. Is that her mic right there?
yeah, if you can just set it
Or this one?
whichever camera she's gonna be on.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be on this one? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, but I guess one of the cameras needs to switch over to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do
Yeah,
that.
we'll bring the mic over here, and then we'll just switch cameras.
You're fine, Chaitanya.
Gonna be good right there. Now, you want to talk a little bit about your sister?
Yeah.
Tell us all about her.
This is my sister. Hey, can we turn the cameras on to?
Yeah.
There we go. Awesome.
Okay.
It's like a video game. It's like, let's go up. And all right. This is my sister, Emily. She is 13 years old, and she goes to, what school do you go to, Emily?
I go to the learning community.
And that's in Black Mountain. And how old are you?
I'm 13.
Cool. And I know I said that. But
He's the interviewer. He's the host. This is his chance.
all right. And Emily and I were actually adopted from Romania. So
That is so
I was 3 when I was adopted, and I am 16. Oh gosh.
Yeah, you turned 16
Yeah,
on our show.
I did actually. So it was kind of exciting. And so how long have you been playing the violin, Emily?
Wait a second. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 9 years.
Wow, that's a pretty long time. And she plays at the Asheville Youth Symphony, and she's played in. We used to live in Florida in Broward County, so she used to play there. So she has a good experience. That's not my cell phone. So, All right. So what are you gonna play?
I'm going to play Concerto Number 1 by J.S. Bach.
All right.
Oh, no,
All right.
nothing
Do you have
else?
any questions?
Emily, that was just wonderful. And you've been doing this, tell us again, how long?
I think 9 years.
9 years, wow. How much do you have to practice, honey?
I have to practice probably about probably 6 or 7 pieces a day.
Wow, and how long does that take you?
It actually depends on whether I feel like practicing or not.
I see, I see. Well, that was just fabulous. I'm so
Yeah.
happy you came.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Guess we need a. I guess the cameras are.
Okay,
All right. So next is Shaitanya, and I don't know if there's a camera on Shaitanya or not, but Lisa's running back and forth.
Lisa.
Yeah. Shaitanya's next.
Okay, she's only gonna do one song?
He's gonna. How many are you gonna do?
2 songs.
2 songs. Cool. I will be watching. All right. What's the first song? And tell us a little bit about yourself. First, tell us about yourself. Sorry.
Well, the first song, in fact, well, I'm just going to introduce myself first.
And tell us a little about you.
Well, my name is Chaitanya, Saxon. I was born in Colorado, in fact, and came here about 6 years ago now. And I'm a good friend of Aaron's. We go to school together with each other, and a couple other friends that, too bad they aren't here right now, but that's that. And so, yeah, I've been playing guitar for, kind of lose track for a few years, but 9 years probably. Started when I was 8. So, yeah, and the piece I'm going to play today is by a good friend of mine. He's from Long Island. He wrote this song in the middle of December, probably. Don't know when, how long time ago, years, probably in '87 or something like that. So, and he taught it to me. I heard the song in his MP3 player, and I'm thinking, who's playing this? And he's like, I am. And it's like, whoa. So, yeah, I like it a lot. It's really nice. Yeah, so I'm gonna play that piece. What if life were a circle that held everyone we love, kept them safe, kept them happy? Would I come into your circle? Can you grow it? Is your heart big enough to let more into it? Tell me of the creatures and the flowers and trees and the fragrance of the breeze. What if God drew a circle that held everyone we love? Just how large would he make it? Would it go around the world? Even greater, would the whole universe fit inside that cosmic circle? And if we could draw a circle like that, would we know the heart of God? Baba na, kevala, Baba na, kevala, Baba na, kevala, Baba namo kevala, Baba na, Baba namo kevala, Baba namo kevala, Baba na, Baba namo kevala, Baba namo kevala. What if life were a circle that held everyone we love, kept them safe, kept them happy? Would I come into your circle? Can you grow it? Is your heart big enough to let more into it? Tell me of the creatures and the flowers and trees and the fragrance of the breeze.
That was good.
That was
Thank you.
fabulous.
So that was another kirtan, right?
Yes, well, in fact, kirtan is translated into devotional song or any song that has really good feel to it. So most of it is translated to devotion, basically. And it comes from India, which is Sanskrit, is what their language is used. And it's very, very devotional language, in fact. And that's why most of the songs I play is Sanskrit, because that's where my culture is oriented. My dad went to India. My mom from Korea, in fact, went to India with my dad, and they learned most of their spirituality there. And this is where they learned kirtan. And most of my friends know kirtan too. It's
That's cool.
The-
What does Baba Nam Kevalam mean?
well, it basically means love is all there is. There are many translations that follow up to that, but that's what I like to use.
That's good. So you're gonna play us one last song?
Yes, I am, in fact.
Cool. We'll take it away, Chaitanya.
Yes, and this one comes from the Sanskrit language too. It's called the Prabhat Samgit, and most of you who know probably what one is, but it basically means a devotional song too, except with lots of meaning. And sadly, I don't know the translation of this one because I have to memorize it, and it's a long one too. But the words really are, you kind of get the feel for it, so it doesn't really matter. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Eso tu mi hriday mache nite nite nabasat. Eso tu mi hriday mache nite nite nabasat. Dire dire pele achara. Dire dire pele achara. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Eso tu mi mano machi arogani aronat. Eso tu mi mano machi arogani aronat. Murdu hasi kari bikiran. Murdu hasi kari bikiran. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Eso tu mi baba lucky chande honabalok. Eso tu mi baba lucky chande honabalok. Jogya ye mohanas badan. Jagya ye mohanas badan. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Baba namo kevala mo Baba namo kevala. Baba namo kevala. Baba namo kevala mo Baba nam kevala. Baba nam kevala. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Deepavali sajayechi Prabhu tomare karite para. Eso tu mi hriday mache nite nite nabasache. Eso tu mi hriday mache nite nite nabasache. Dire dire pele achara. Dire dire pele achara.
Wow, that was really good, Chaitanya.
Thank you.
Tanya, that was beautiful.
And actually, many of you don't know that, but that is the song that Chaitanya and I and a few other people are going to be playing next Wednesday at Odyssey Community School. It's for their Christmas holiday program, so I actually know the chords too. And I've just got to put this on, they say. Is that how you put it on?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but that's good. All right, well, yeah, so that's the song that Chaitanya and many of us in school are going to play, and Chaitanya and I are also starting a band and stuff, so
That's
it's kind
exciting,
of
Aaron.
fun to listen to him play because he's really good. And
Well, what kind of music is your band, and how many are going to be in it? And tell us a little bit about that.
How many do we have, Shatanya?
Well, 7 really. I mean, we have
Wow.
Yeah.
there's lots of people that's popping up and we're offering. So
So yeah, it's gonna be fun, and
Oh, how fabulous.
he's gonna be on acoustic and I guess electric sometimes.
well, yeah, I can play both electric and acoustic guitar, and
So
doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
and then I'm gonna be playing piano, and some of his other friends are gonna be playing. Like you said, Devin plays violin.
Yeah, my friend Devin Wickle is playing a violin, and he's also
Yeah.
a pretty good mandolin player.
So
Figuring that
we'll
both
have
are
different,
very
a
similar.
variety of different instruments. Maybe sometime we'll get a harmonium in there.
Wow.
Because he has a brother, and his brother plays that. It's a harmonium, right? Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, that's Shaitanya Saxon. He played Deepa Volley, and what was the other one?
The other one's called The Circle of Love.
Circle of Love, which is a really good song
That
too.
was, yeah, that was a very beautiful
So
song.
yeah. So next up is Kalar. So I don't know exactly what we need to do to move stuff.
For Kalar, okay.
Kalar, you need more space, right?
Yeah, well, we need more space. Probably.
You can you can get up, Shaitanya. Let's see.
Hey, what are we doing now?
Kalar's gonna.
Yeah, that's what I
Kalar's
said.
gonna-
We're doing Kalar.
Yeah, but do we need to move that microphone there and get some of the wires out of the way?
And if Mark wants to get the CD ready, I don't know which one it is or anything. Kalar, which CD was it?
Well, then you're going to have to explain what she's going to be doing.
Yeah.
Well, Kalar can explain. She knows her
But you're
dance.
the host. You're
Oh.
supposed to know what they're doing.
I know what Kalar's doing. Kalar is going to be doing some Irish step dancing. And I actually don't know much about Irish step dancing. All I know is I'm guessing it's Irish based. So.
How much room do you need?
Plenty.
That's good.
Honey, this is plenty clear.
All
Now,
right.
how long have you been doing this, honey?
Yeah.
4 years.
4 years. And did you start at school, or is this something that you started just taking lessons for, dancing lessons, or?
I took dancing lessons.
Okay. So are you normally doing this with a group, or is this something that is a solo normally?
I mean, sometimes I compete and that's solo, and then sometimes
Okay.
I do it with my
With your school. Okay. Well, that's great.
Yep. Oh, now the camera's moving. Because we only have one man in the.
Boy, that was pretty bad, wasn't it? Gee.
We only have one person in the control room, and I'm the host, so I can't really move. So.
I know, and then what's going to happen next week, Aaron?
I don't know.
I mean, we're just going to fall apart.
Yeah. How about if will you call your piano teacher?
I don't know. I'll have to figure that out.
But he's going to figure what out?
I asked him to call his piano teacher and tell her we need him.
I know, Lily, what are we going to do without him?
No, it's not just his help, because his help is just wonderful, but it's Aaron. I really.
I like being here.
Oh, he's
It's
such
cool.
a great kid.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like being here. It's really fun to.
Good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's like, why do you like being here amidst the chaos?
That's what I like, the chaos. Oh, there's Kalar. Awesome. And we got to get a song up. Kalar, which CD was it?
Are we number 5, right?
Yeah.
And studio monitors.
Two. Can you do two, honey?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Kalar is going to go, and you might want to close that door so we don't get feedback. She said this is a beginner step.
Okay.
And we have minor
Wait a minute, Kalar.
technical difficulties.
Okay, so we want number 5 at the beginning.
Yeah, she's going to dance to number 5. I don't know how long she's going to dance for, but
So she gets tired,
It's just 2 way counts.
Okay.
I didn't know how long the song was.
It's not till the end of the song.
Okay.
I don't do Irish step dancing.
I don't either.
All right. A little louder. Would you like me to?
All right, you ready?
She says she's ready. Here we go. Can we have it a little louder? She can't hear it. It's on the console thing. You have a CD player?
type ballet shoes, or?
They're Irish dancing shoes.
Okay, so they're separate than ballet shoes, huh? And and you said 9 years you've been doing this, or? 4 years. That's incredible. No wonder she's in such good shape.
So where do you take lessons? Or do you
It's at the art center.
Asheville Art Center?
Started
Go with the mic, so get a mic, take a mic.
Yeah, okay.
That is number, I can't tell. One of those mics, I don't know which one.
I take dancing lessons at the art center.
Let me make sure that we can hear you.
This is what goes on behind the scenes. This is what I do.
Okay.
I take dancing lessons at the art center. It's called the Gallagher School of Irish Dance.
Cool.
Do you take other, besides Irish, do you do ballet? Do you do other? Because that had a ballet flair to it.
Yeah, I haven't took ballet. I mean, I took hip hop a really long time ago.
Hip hop,
Does that help with Irish step dancing?
No.
No,
I didn't know.
it's very
Like-
energetic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
seems kind of hip hopish, but I'm not an Irish step dancer, so I don't know.
Now, is she in your school also?
Yeah, she goes to Odyssey Community
Or
School,
okay.
and Chaitanya does too. So.
Yeah, I knew Shatanya did. Now, how is that school set up? Are you all in different classes, or?
Yeah, I'm in a class with Chaitanya. It's a 8th through 10th grade class.
8th through 10th, okay.
For right now, I don't know what it'll be next year. And then Kayla is what, 7th through
And
what?
the 6th through 7th.
6th through 7th, okay,
sorry,
so it's
6th through 7th.
combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year it was 6-8, but they didn't have a high school, so that's why.
Okay, and how do you guys feel about the school? It sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're enjoying it?
I like it. It's a good school.
It's a good school. And
The
how
new
many
teachers,
students?
which are good.
You have good,
Yeah.
very dedicated?
Yeah, all of them, yeah. There's probably about, like 60 students, 65 students?
65, yeah.
Yeah, about 65 students in the, where's the camera? Oh, in the school. So, yeah, I like the school.
Oh, wow.
And it's a nice property, too. It's in Montford.
Where is it in Mumford? Is it?
Zillicoa.
Zillicoa.
Okay. I know
It's
where you're talking
by
about.
Genova Diagnostics. It's like a
Okay.
big science.
Yes, I know
building.
where that's at, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Montford is such a neat area
It
anyway.
is, yeah,
You
and-
know, it's perfect area for this type of school.
Yeah, they have a big, nice, they have a pool there.
Pool
They
and
have
tennis
everything.
courts.
Tennis court. They have
Oh,
anything you
wow.
can imagine.
Nice mini arboretum.
Yeah, and then we're right next to Arboretum, so we can, like in the summer, or not summer, I mean, but in the warmer time of year, we go down there and study about plants. We just hang out sometimes, you know.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't even have to be really, you know, it's just the experience is also a learning experience. It's experiential learning, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah,
That-
I like it, so.
That's so unique, and I'm so glad that you guys are a part of that, because have you noticed a big difference? Were you in public school before that?
I was in public school for like maybe a month,
Oh, okay,
but then that's why I went to Odyssey.
okay.
It was hard.
Yeah, because you wanted the hands-on and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, public school's good too. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm, yeah, yeah.
Oh, now
It's
she's.
so great that we have all
Hello?
initiatives like this. You know,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
And when I was younger, like in elementary years, like early elementary years, I was in public school too. So then I went to another private school in Florida. But
And so you were in Florida.
Ludicrous, can you
yeah,
hear me?
when? Till what year?
4 years ago, yeah,
Okay.
probably about 4 years ago.
I always have to ask this, what brought you to
Yeah.
Asheville? Because it's so unique. And
I guess
Okay.
probably the cooler weather, which was a good thing because we lived in South Florida, so it was really hot and really warm and always never really got cool. So that's probably another reason. And also, it's just really nice here.
Yeah, I'm here.
And I don't really know all the other
Hang on.
reasons. I mean,
yeah.
It's very nice and social.
yeah, I mean, yeah, because we were thinking of like Delanago when we were thinking about moving places, and Asheville was a good place because it had theater, which I like to do. My sister and I had a good school, and so yeah, that's why I came.
I think when you come to Asheville, you know, I first came here in 1980, and it didn't take me long. Within 24 hours, I knew this is where I needed to be.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had moved to other places, before, but when I got here, there was not that period of getting used to it. It's like Asheville kind of embraces you.
Yeah, it took
And-
me a little while to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because there's different like country sort of, and unlike Florida, which is a lot of city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Asheville it's a nice city. It's a smaller one than, you know, Florida.
Yeah, it's,
All the cars.
I like the uniqueness of it being big enough to be a city, but small enough that you don't get caught in these horrible traffic jams. And
Yeah,
Can you hear me
it
now?
still
You know.
has its Asheville still has its, you know, hustle and bustle, but it's in a smaller scale. That's good.
Yeah, and it
So-
feels, it feels safer to me than, you know, I was born and raised in Chicago. And so I came from a very large city, and it felt, I was in the Chicago area, and of course the suburbs of Chicago, it's like it's almost its own state, you know,
Wow.
it's so big.
I bet. I've never been there, so.
Yeah, it's a neat city, it is, but I don't ever want to live there. It's a great place to visit now. But I would never, you know, this is home. Asheville will always be home.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any other things to say? Are you gonna do any other stuff or?
Two dances.
Yeah. You do another dance?
Yeah, let's see if the control room is ready to do another dance.
Can
It's so funny. I don't know what song we're doing.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna do,
Taylor wants to do
Taylor's
another-
gonna do one more dance.
Oh, way cool, way cool. What song do you need music?
Number one.
Number one.
Number one? Okay, hang on, because we're still having problems with getting call-ins. Even the numbers that are down, or the buttons that are down that are supposed to be, or up, or whatever,
It's
it's still not right.
Okay.
So hang on a minute, and one's coming up.
Okay, great.
Call-ins are the hard things.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah,
People
better
can call in and
and
stuff. It's cool.
just talk, and it's kind of like an open forum.
Yep. All right. That's good. Oh, it's time.
Just when we were getting.
I know. All right.
We're ready.
So I bet you didn't hear most of the stuff we said because our mics were off. So I'm sorry if you didn't get all
Yeah, if you didn't hear the
Us.
conversation Aaron and I were having, we didn't have our mics on.
Oh.
I know.
But now we do.
You did have
Yeah,
mics
we were
on?
doing the swim.
Is that what people are calling in for? To tell us that you can't hear us again?
I guess I thought she was gonna play, but then we started talking because you had technical difficulties.
Yeah, so we just,
So you just,
we didn't have our mics on.
Yeah.
But they're on now, so.
So, well,
Well, would you
all-
both
all of
come
them
out
come
and
out.
take a bow, please?
and a different camera view, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you can just move that camera. It's fine.
Hey, let me go back in. And
Poor Lisa, she has to run back and forth.
In his heels. It's tough being a woman, tell you.
There they are. Thank you for coming.
Yay! Thank you
Again,
so much.
that's Emily on your left, Shaitanya in the middle, and Kaylar on the right.
Yeah, on the right.
Right. I'm
Yes.
just thinking if I'm
And
looking at
Shaitanya, we want to see you in Aaron's group. We want to when you
Yeah, when
start.
we start, yeah.
Yeah, you
We
can do
figure
your
out a song to
practices
do.
here. We'd love it.
It won't be as loud as the other band.
Oh
that came,
yeah,
but
the last week's band.
yeah, that was pretty cool. But it was a good band.
It was a good band.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And you were all fabulous, and we appreciate it so much. And this is what we mean by showing off your Asheville.
Yep. All right.
And hopefully you all come back. Will you
Yes,
come back?
thank you.
Taylor? Emily? Okay, good.
All right. And I don't know what Shaitanya and Kayla are doing, but.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you. I'm Aaron again, and I'm an intern, and I will be popping in and out sometimes. So.
Yes, we don't want to let Aaron go.
All right.
He's part of our family.
Yes, I am. All right. Thank you.
And Lisa's going to come out and join me now. And
now, does that mean that you're leaving us now? No. Oh, you're still hanging out?
yeah, oh yeah,
In there?
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Aren't
for
they
being-
wonderful?
For being on with us today. We really, really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we do.
That was so cool.
Yeah, it was nice to meet Aaron's mom too.
Oh,
you know?
we need more people.
Yeah.
Would you like to come in and say hi?
Yeah,
What's
come
it
on.
like raising
Aaron
a
and-
brilliant child?
Mama's camera shy.
Okay, well maybe some other time.
We'll forgive you
Just
this
the
time.
kids are not.
But you have to remember, he does know how to work a camera.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
She.
Uh-oh.
But they
You're
have to get a release sign form, or a release form signed
From
before.
me, right?
Right. So, I mean, I'd love to, maybe you can be, in the background or wherever, and yeah. Oh, see, the kids say, hey. It's like when your children say you're a great mom. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, if they said that, I might come on.
But they are.
Yeah, they're saying it.
Turn my mic on.
Oh yeah, I turned it off.
Yeah, but mine's on.
I didn't want to make too much noise.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that what it was? Oh, he's so
Okay.
good. See, I mean, what are we going to do without him?
We're not. I got a plan.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You have a plan?
I'm going to get his piano teacher's number before he leaves, and I'm going to call her and beg. I'm not too proud to beg.
Really? Is that what you're going to do? Yeah. So that we can keep
Well,
him?
if he could switch maybe his piano lessons to Saturdays.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, he's going to see what he can do.
Oh, that would be so great. Yeah, because, I mean, boy, just when we start to get it together,
Yeah.
it's like, isn't that how it always goes?
Mhm.
But then isn't that what a challenge is?
Yes, that is a challenge.
I know.
One of life's challenges.
I know.
But being around these kids, and it is just so wonderful.
Oh, it
I mean,
is.
you see the spirit in
is.
them, and these are talented children.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to call them children? I guess they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
I
care.
mean,
Bye.
it
Thanks
it
again.
is what it is, and yeah, they
Yeah.
are kids,
I know it.
and they're really talented.
Yeah, they were great. I
Yeah.
was thrilled.
Well, it's like you look at children, and even Einstein was thought to be stupid,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
and it's like, just because you are taught or whatever to be whatever, doesn't mean that that's who you are.
That's right.
You really have to live and be true to yourself.
That's right.
I mean, that's a big part of.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know, it
big
doesn't
part.
matter what other people say. Oh, you can't play piano, or you can't play violin, or you can't tap dance, or don't listen when people tell you that you can't do something. Wonder why they tell you that you can't do something, because a lot of times just because they can't, they think that you can't.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't let somebody else limit you.
And I think too, you know, like the children we had on last week. If you watched those parents, they were so proud, and you know
Oh,
that they are
yeah.
going. Those kids are very active. They are playing a lot of places,
A lot of gigs.
a lot of gigs that.
How many did they say? Was that 300?
Yeah.
300 in the past couple of years? I mean, that's a lot of.
And they're supporting them in their in all of it, in their practice, in you know, in everything that they're doing. So, you know, you saw them sitting here. The moms were here. The moms were dancing in the background. You know that, and then the father was here, and he was setting up and carrying in and carrying out. And every time that they perform, I don't think that we always realize it really was an eye opener for me last week.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing what had to come in here, and the equipment and the speakers, and you know, and then you have to test, you know, all the sound systems, and that's why. And that was a learning curve for us too.
Oh, for sure.
Now we
For
know
sure.
that when we do have a whole entire band that's going to play at once, that they have to be here at least 2 hours early, because there's sound checks, there's, you know,
Right.
and they've got
Right.
some of their own
Right.
equipment, and then you're making the decision, should we be using some of theirs versus some of ours here at the studio? So,
Well, and there again, it's like we seem to always have technical problems. And a lot of the problems with public access is that people come in and use the equipment and adjust it to where they need it to be. And then it's all messed up, so you have to go in and redo all kinds of good stuff to
Right.
get it right.
and you don't have the big crews that, you know,
the
that the
professional.
professionals have, the crews that come in ahead of time, and so you've got a whole deck of just sound and
Oh,
a whole
yeah.
deck of just cameras, and so I think with it's amazing that we're accomplishing what we are, and each week I hear it get a little bit better, and
Yeah.
you know, it's so much fun.
Yeah, we still have names on there. Aaron's in there. He's such a good kid. It's like we've got to try to keep him. We can't lose him now.
I know. Well, we're working on it. Aaron, I think, is, if he can't be here every week, I think he'll do everything he can,
So,
you
at
know,
least
to
be a
be here as
couple.
much as he can,
Uh-huh.
and I'd love for his group. I mean, that's going to be fantastic.
yeah.
Did you hear him say they may have a mandolin?
No. We were in there trying. There was some. They were trying to get some calls in, and or at least there was a bunch of people that were trying to call in, and it's not, something's wrong. So we had turned down the sound in the studio, so we could hear what you guys were, or so we couldn't hear what you were talking about out here. So it's like they're going to start a band. Is that?
Yes, Aaron and 7 other. I think there's going to be 7 other members. Of course, Aaron's going to play the piano.
Yeah.
Chautauqua will play the guitar. I think he said he plays both what's that word?
Acoustic
and electric,
Yeah.
and he plays the bass, I believe, too.
Yeah.
And so, and then there was going to a violinist. You know, all those sounds together.
Yeah.
And he
I
said
love a violin.
something that was really interesting to me. He said that they're going to play a lot of jazz.
Really?
Yeah,
The kids.
and for this group generation coming up to say they're going to play jazz, that's exciting. And you have a lot of special Asheville.
There's a lot of special
There's
kids.
a lot of special kids in the whole world, and I have noticed in Asheville that maybe we acknowledge them a little bit more here. Maybe that's what it is, because I think kids are allowed to be themselves a little bit more.
Isn't that what Asheville's all about?
Yeah, it is.
You know,
The uniqueness.
Yeah, and what's the saying? Something about weird.
Oh, keep Asheville weird.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
one.
one of the bumper stickers,
Right.
yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you know, it's different because you're allowed to be yourself.
And that's what's so unique about, you know, in the spring and in the summer, mostly in the spring and early summer, Mark and I and the kids come downtown a lot.
Yeah.
And we bring Shamrock and we walk around and we go to the park, and, you know, it's so interesting because you're entertained all along the way. Usually in front of Malaprops there's a group, and you can tell some of them have just arrived here. They got their guitars and packs on their back, and they've usually got a dog with them
lot of 'em.
that's laying down next to them, and they got their guitar box open for donations, and that's probably how they're getting their lunch, and they're enjoying themselves, and so you go from
Hey, you have the wrong date up on there. It says November 21st.
yeah.
Today is December the 12th, 2008. So
Right.
if you're looking at that date, it is wrong. It was a leftover from the CG from the 21st, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to keep it current because if you're calling in, I mean, yes, we are
want you to
live.
know, yeah.
Yeah, we want you to know exactly what day it is.
But so you go from Malaprops and you go down the street a little bit, and you might see in front of another store, you're going to see another person, sometimes a violinist, sometimes a guitarist, the mandolin, and so you can get little flavors all over Asheville that are just. They had somebody, where the Big Iron is
Yeah.
downtown. Well, there was
Yeah.
somebody quite a few weekends, and actually even during the week, playing some type of river dance music.
Oh, really? Right
with
there?
the Celtic flair.
Yeah.
And there was a girl, dancing there on the corner, and it was just
Were they
so-
filming or they were
No,
just
they were
entertaining?
just
They were just
entertaining.
And that I love that.
Oh,
I mean, you
know.
can find all kinds of entertainment all around around Asheville.
Oh, I know. When Mark got certified, we were. He was going to class with another fellow, so he was going to have 15 minutes at the end when you produce at the last class.
Right.
And the other gentleman was going to have 15 minutes. Well, he wasn't able to be there, so Mark needed the whole half hour, and he had Tulare coming on to ballet dance. And so, but a ballet dancer can't ballet dance for a half hour straight. I mean, we'd have to pick her up and roll her out. So,
So does that leave us off the hook
Oh,
that
yeah,
we don't have
oh, yeah.
to dance as long as she does?
as long
Is
as
that-
she does, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were downtown, and he said, "Well, I got to find somebody else." Well, there happened to be on one of the corners across from the park, Pritchard Park. Daniel was playing the drums, and might not have been the drums. It might have been. Yeah, it was the drums. It was the drums. There was somebody playing on one corner. There was somebody playing guitar, and one corner the drums. And they were kind of keeping, he was kind of keeping beat to what was going on over there. But anyway, so Mark just said, "Well, I'm just going to ask him." So he parked, and we just went right up to him, and he was playing his drums, and we listened to him for a while. And Mark said, "Well, do you think that you could come on the show?" And he explained to him what he needed him for, and he said, "Sure."
Yeah.
And he showed up, and he had been actually in the studio before. He'd been on a different show before. And so he came in, and he played, and then he actually played the drums for Tulare to dance. So it just worked out great. But, had we not been able to do that, just happened to see somebody downtown. And Mark said, "Well, what better place? We'll just
and
drive
isn't that
downtown."
Live and Divine, how it just, pops in, and that's how it is. And I'll tell you, when you start to live that way, it makes life so much easier. I mean, I could kick and scream, and I was supposed to be going to Florida for Christmas, and how life is, it's like I'd rather be happy than right. And if it means that I'm going to be miserable, if I have to be miserable, if I have to jump through hoops, and it's like I can't do it anymore.
No. Our hoop jumping days are over, right?
Well, I don't know whatever happened to my my hula hoop.
I don't know what happened to mine either, but I'm glad I don't have it anymore because I don't think I could do it.
Oh, well, you know what? I want to tell Oprah. I figured out why we keep getting fat. My skinny years are 4, 5, and 6. And my gaining weight seemed to be like the 7, 8, and 9. And then it's like the losing. Okay, I gain and then I lose, and I gain and I lose. And I can look back at 88 and 89, and I was really heavy, and 98 and 99 I was really heavy, but then it's like, okay, 84, 85, 86, 94, 95, 96, 2004, 2005, I was skinny.
Wow.
So it's like a cycle where it seems like I finally get all, and I haven't had a soda in a week now. I'm kind of like proud of myself.
Uh-huh.
I
Your
had a
Mountain Dew?
really
You haven't had a Mountain Dew?
yeah, I had a really
Wow.
bad headache this last time I tried to quit, and it's like, it's poison, it's poison, it's poison. Trying to tell myself that, and I'm trying
To drink water, is that what you're
Well,
trying
yeah, my water and tea, but even drinking water and tea, it's not to drink the Mountain Dew, because I used to drink the Mountain Dew, and soda is soda.
Well, is it the caffeine in Mountain Dew is
I
pretty
like the
extreme,
yeah,
isn't
well, I
it?
like the caffeine,
So
but
that's
then it's
where
like,
you
is
were
it the
getting your
caffeine or is it
caffeine.
the sugar? Because I
Little
know I'm addicted to sugar. I mean, that's definitely the first addiction, because, yeah. Oh, you have to do one of those too.
Excuse me.
She's got a cough, don't mind her.
Just a dry one.
Oh, we it's like, what else is new? Yes, I brought my jug of tea.
Good. Not your
Here's
jug
to
of-
ya.
Yeah, not your jug of Mountain Dew, but your jug of tea. Where did you get hooked on Mountain Dew at?
Well, it's sweet stuff.
Oh, it's because it's sweet,
Sweet
and it
stuff.
fills that. Okay.
Yeah, sweet stuff and the caffeine. I used to drink Coke, and then I drank, it's the caramel colors are bad for you. So then you go to
So you went to the clear
the-
caffeine.
That's it. The clear is supposed to be better than the colored, and I swear they're really addictive.
Yeah.
I have to remember it's the first one, because I've quit, and then I take the first one, and then every single day I'm drinking a soda.
Well, Victoria and I lately, she is 19 now, and when we've been going out to eat, and even at the house now, we've been drinking water. We started doing this about a month ago, so we're drinking water with our food instead of actually drinking sodas with it. And
Yeah.
we have both realized how much more we're enjoying our food, and I'm actually eating less food because the water kind of fills you up in a
Right.
different way. And so we went with a friend of mine, Jeannie, this week, and we went out with her. But now that we ate, and we actually had a drink of soda because it came with the meal. What are you looking at?
Well, I'm looking, and it's like, oh wow, did we do a white balance? I've got, and then I was like, the lighting, and it's like, oh.
Oh, because we look tan.
No. Is that why
Yeah.
we look tan?
Yeah, we look tan.
Well,
and
we
that's
have no
okay.
studio lights on.
Oh wow.
I know.
You'll have to give us history again, and and kind of go over all that.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure that I could think of some questions.
Yeah. Did they change the tape, you think? Because it's been an hour.
Hey, did the tape get changed?
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. See? They're ahead of us. Yeah, we're
What are we gonna do without them?
I don't know. Yeah, he and Mark really are good together. They really have a lot of fun together. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, we got to do something
I
about
mean,
this.
it's those creative geniuses.
Uh-huh. That's what it is.
Really?
Oh, I didn't do my 6 o'clock roll-in where I talked to all the people that. Oh gosh, I got to do my.
All right, here she goes
Okay,
again.
here I go.
She's gonna really make me jealous.
I'm going to say hi to some of the people that I know that are watching, and I'm hoping that are watching. And I'll go through my neighborhood first, which is Cimarron, and we'll talk about Margaret, who lives right next door. We'll talk about Ken and Shotzi, and we will talk about Pete and Greg and Misty. So hopefully they're all watching. I don't know if Allie and her mom are watching right now. Allie goes to school with Victor, and they ride together, and real nice neighborhood girl. And we get to see her, throughout the week. So I'm hoping they're all watching. And then in Virginia, we have Mark's mother, and we have Spark, Mark's oldest son. And I have, let's see, Beverly. I'm hoping Beverly and Roger are watching. And Beverly, she's the grandmother of the big fat cat.
Oh, that's the one.
Okay, yeah. And Lori is her daughter who owns the cat.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and her husband's name is Roger. So this cat, and she just emailed me. I need to email him to you some Christmas pictures.
Oh, good.
Of James.
the cat?
Oh gosh, yeah. And he's got some kind of a Christmas outfit on. I don't know how they got it on him. He is so big. And when she was here in Asheville visiting me, we found a costume for him that had a tail on it.
Uh-huh.
Well, they put it on him, and he was scared to death of the tail, so they had to take it off. So I would have loved it. It was a lion, I believe. So I'd love to see his head there. Let's see. So that's Virginia. Now we got Florida. We've got my niece Sherry and my niece Haley, and I don't know if Betsy's able to watch or not. She works. And then we've got my brother John and Janice and all their cats. Oh, and speaking of their cats, remember last week I was telling you John's cat BK fell off the bed, I believe, onto the hardwood floor and broke his hip.
Oh, no.
Okay, very young cat, but growing really fast. So I guess when that happens, they're brittle. Their bones are brittle. But he had surgery. My brother and Janice made sure he got the best care, and then they took care of him, and he's doing wonderful, and he's already playing again. It was 2 weeks yesterday that he had the surgery, I think. And he's playing and running, and
that's
it's
a
just
good
amazing to me how animals can do that. And then my sister Linda in Indiana, I'm hoping she got to watch. She's leaving for Florida tomorrow, so I don't know what her agenda was tonight.
What,
so
for the holidays?
Yeah, well, my niece Sherry is her daughter, so she's going to spend the holidays with Sherry and her family. So, and I hope she has a safe, nice flight, and I hope you're all watching. And I won't tell anymore because I don't want to make you jealous.
I know.
Oh, but
I know.
but there's somebody, and I don't know if she's turned it on again, so I'm going to repeat this when Mark comes on, because I know she works, and I don't know if she'll be able to be home in time. But my dear friend Raina is back in town. She's been gone for quite a few years, maybe 4 or 5, and Raina and I go way back. She's just wonderful, and I'm just so excited that she's back, and now we get to
and she's going to come on as a guest one of these
days.
Yes.
And she was living in Naples, so she's back in town, and she has. Oh, and I must say hi to her 2 cats. Wait till you hear their names, Mr. and Ms. Puss.
That's their names.
Isn't that
That's
neat?
cool.
Speaking of cats, how are your cats doing?
They're all doing great. Hildy's actually hanging out at the house. That's the one that was lost in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's finally starting to come around and stay in the house.
Wow.
And, yeah, she was really freaked out for a while. I was surprised that we ever found her in the forest. She was lost in the forest.
How did you find her?
Just kept going back and calling her. Just same spot. She was lost from Tuesday until Friday when I had finally gotten her.
It's amazing if they could only talk and tell us. Mark, when we were in Virginia, Mark had, we had this cat that followed Mark's oldest son home that we ended up keeping. We were always, going to just keep him overnight, but we always end up keeping him. Well, her name is Alexandria. Well, then one day when Victoria was walking home, maybe a year later, little Milo followed her home, the yellow, beautiful little kitten. Well, Alexandria hated Milo. I mean, the other animals all got along fine, but from the day Milo came into the house, Alexandria was very upset. And one day she disappeared. Alexandria did. She was gone 6 weeks. We thought we'd never see her again, Alexandria. And then one day she came up on Mark's carport and she started meowing. And I think his oldest son said, that doesn't sound like Milo. And he opened the door and she came flying in. She was skin and bones. She had like a hole on her side where it looked like she'd been attacked or bit by an animal and had healed over. We could not believe it.
Well, she might have gotten hit by a car and rolled in a ditch.
6 weeks she was gone.
Wow.
And then we took her to the vet.
Kind of a chunk, in a way, out of her.
Yeah, it was like a chunk. That's right, Mark.
Yeah.
A chunk out of her side. And we took her to the vet the next day, and she said, well, she seems to be, she's skinny. She needs loving. She needs food again. But I'll tell you one thing, she's never wandered far from home since that. And then her and Milo went back into the hate, fighting sort of thing. But now Milo's living with Victoria's boyfriend because he has a new baby cat, and they're getting along great.
Oh, cool.
So, and now Alexandria's happy again. So, the politics, the kitty politics going on.
Oh, I know. It's like to take care of the kids, to take care of the animals, which are your kids.
Trying to keep everybody happy.
That's it. It's impossible.
You know what?
you have to do, I learned that no matter what, I just smile.
Yep.
And you just got to be happy. 'cause
I'd
you
rather
have-
be happy than right.
You have to. You have
I'd
two
rather be
choices.
happy than right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You could be miserable trying to change people, places, and things when they are what they are, and that's it. They are what they are. Or else you just, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, let it go. I wish you well. You want to be mean and nasty and ignorant. You know, like I said before, you take those sticks and stones that people throw at you and you build a mountain. Because when you build a mountain, then you can see from where they found those sticks. And most of the time, those sticks have been in their ancestors' closet. And they get them out, and they get them out, and they don't know why they get them out, but all they know is what they know, and that's what they keep doing over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
And you know, it's the words, Lisa. You were talking about that at the beginning of the show, how if we're not careful with the words
Oh,
that we
yeah.
say, you
Yeah.
can't take them back. You know,
Yeah.
there are certain things that you probably have remembered for years. Maybe something, I remember something that was said to me in second grade
Do you?
by this one little girl. She did not like the dress I had on that day. And
Right.
she was the only one that said, I remember the dress, it was kind of cute. It was green and it had little lines in it, and it had a little belt with it. And she just, when I came in that morning, she said she didn't like my dress. Well, that devastated me. And it's funny how something that little, and then I found out maybe 3 days later, one of the little boys in my class, Freddie was his name, and he came up to me and he said, she really liked your dress. She was jealous.
that's it.
And you know, when
That's
you think,
it.
you know, how something like that, how that affected me
Right.
though. And we
Right.
don't realize sometimes how sensitive people are. If you're not sensitive yourself, that can be really tough because I'm a very sensitive person myself about, you know, things really bother
Pisces
me.
are.
Pisces are,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
But people that are not sensitive will sometimes hurt your feelings and not even realize that they have in fact hurt your
Right.
feelings. And that's
But do they care?
but do they care? And so I think we all
or were they trying to make you hurt as much as they themselves hurt?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, you know, when you were talking about how we talk to our children and what we say to our children, how sometimes you just have to be so careful because you might be saying something that you don't mean to come across like that.
Right.
And it can hurt their feelings. And maybe that's going to stay with them a long time.
Yeah.
And so we, you know, for our youth, I think a lot of kids out there are verbally abused, like you were talking
they
about.
were. And it's like, you know, the verbal, the mental, the emotional abuse is much worse than the physical abuse because the physical abuse heals.
Yeah.
That other, it stays with you, and especially if that's what you're brought up with, and it piles up and up and up, and then next thing you know, you're thinking that you're a worthless piece of crap, and then, you know, where do you ever get rid of that so-called disease?
And does it ever go away? It depends
Right.
on how strong you are, and you know. But some people, and it can come back. It come back and haunt you at a time in your life when perhaps you're a little bit low. Then those you know, those.
Well, I remember when back in 95, 96, when the crap hit the fan, and it's like everything I worked for was gone. And then it was, who am I, what am I? And I'm listening to what other people are saying, who I should be and what I should do, and it's driving me crazy because it's not who I am. And you know, the most important thing in my life that I have found is that motto, to thine own self be true. That's the only way that I have found that I can be happy, is if I am true to myself. You know, if other people have a problem with who and what I am, well, that's going to have to be their problem. Because as long as I'm happy with who and what, you know, that's the battle.
And I think, you know, along with that is, I think that there's almost an epidemic of people, of people that are trying to decide what other people's motives are without really
Right.
knowing all the facts.
Right.
So, you know, you're on the outside and you hear something about somebody, but you don't know all the facts. And I think the best thing we can do is just listen and try to.
It's the studio lights. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, is
Yeah,
listen.
we have to put we have to get them too.
Yeah.
You can keep talking.
Okay. Okay. Is that we have to listen to what people are really saying and not judge, just sit back and listen, because most of the time when our kids come to us, they really want us to hear. And sometimes you're so frustrated in what has just happened or what they've done that we don't always stop and listen. So you just kind of have to find that place in your heart to be quiet and really see what they're saying and hear what they're saying before we react.
But a lot of people don't consider what a child's voice is saying because they think that they're just a child and you are a possession and I'm going to tell you what to do. I don't care if you don't want to listen. And it's like a jam. You know, I am the boss.
Yeah.
You know, I am your parent, therefore I am the law. And it's like, you know, well, wait a minute. What are you teaching that child? If you were teaching them,
I know.
I get frustrated on that.
I know you get real frustrated talking about it, but you know, I think that something else that I've realized with children is they are very forgiving, and sometimes we can screw up and advise them to do something that maybe wasn't a good choice, or we're not really hearing what they were saying. You know, in general, when that happens, if we just say those two little words to them, it all goes away, and that's "I'm sorry." That is really, and it's okay to tell your kids you're sorry.
Forgiveness is sweet victory.
Yes.
When you can finally say, I forgive you for all of the crap that you put me through, the load that is lifted when you finally, you know, that's why forgiveness is so selfish.
Well, and then another thing I see in the generations is that at some point of your life, you might be judging somebody a certain way. But then they grow up and they grow out of that and they're a different person. It's so important for relatives and friends to realize that that's not the same person that maybe you were upset with 10 years ago.
Right.
So you got to drop all that old stuff. You got to drop all that baggage that we carry around. And for our relatives, for our friends, you know, people out there that are holding grudges from 10, 15 years back, and that person might have already made a complete change, and we're not giving them the chance.
But
you're not hearing their voice.
Right. But see, that's what that resentment. Resentments are like swallowing poison and waiting for someone else to die. So when you have a resentment towards another person, well, the poison is in you because that person probably A, doesn't care, you know, or doesn't know that you have a resentment on them.
Or,
you know, like that little girl that she didn't like your dress, and it's
Yes.
like, well, why didn't she like your dress? Because she was jealous of you.
Of the dress, of whatever, and and so, but in my mind, that was just a hurt thing, and so this happened. How many years ago?
And
you still remember it.
Yeah.
So that tells you what are our children still remembering that we say to them.
To them, yeah.
What are, you know, what, and sometimes our parents.
Because the thought creates form. As
Yes.
a man thinketh, so shall he be. You know, especially those who are out there, you know, let's thump that Bible a little bit. And it's like, okay, well, let's start also practicing what we preach.
Right, yeah.
You know, I mean, if we're telling them, hey, you know, this is, then we should be the example for that also. You know, forget the do as I say and not as I do.
And I think part of it, one of the hugest problems in all of societies has always been communication or lack of.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to switch them because we're getting angles. So, and then the other one on, then we won't have to turn as far as.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erin.
It's almost time for the eating
We
show.
have about 10 minutes, and I hope that, I don't know if we have any calls or if they're coming in. Erin, how's that going out?
Maybe.
What, Mark?
There may be some calls.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
we got it working?
We got it working?
We're not sure. We're still working on it.
Okay. Well, remember
usual.
if you do try to call and you weren't able to get through, to make sure that we'll be back next week, and you know what Mark can do is if the calls aren't coming through, is he can go ahead and do his classroom I Ching,
Yeah.
you know, for the half
Well,
hour.
there again, it's like I'd like to ask a couple of questions. Oh, I can't talk about it now.
You can't?
Well, I could. Okay, because we all right. What would bring a mother to try to totally destroy the daughter? You know, how can a mother, you know, purposely kill the child?
So
So we're talking about Kaylee, and I know that Mark had asked the I Ching, and once it's like, see, that's the thing about foresight. When you have foresight, you can say, okay, this is what I see, and then when it comes to play out, you can go back and okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that was real close.
that was real
I mean,
close.
that was real close. And they had said, you got the goosebumps too. They had said about where she was found, where Kaylee was found, that it was flooded back then. So, you know, that's something that I'd like to, I don't want to get into it now, but
Yeah.
I'd like to get into it, you know, with the I Ching.
Yeah. So what if the call-ins are not working? If you want, you can just ask Mark right over the microphone to, you know. And there's other, you know, there's so many questions. There are so many things that I would like to ask the I Ching, but yet because I understand it and I know.
I got a question.
Oh,
I got
good.
a
Go ahead.
question.
Write it. Yeah, write it down.
Okay. See, and when you do the I Ching, you have to be really, really specific because you can't ask for a yes and no. And the I Ching is an ancient oracle, way back before the Bible says the rules, you know, that you can't believe in this stuff because it's bad. Sorry, but it's a spiritual tool. And when a spiritual tool is used to help you understand, you know, life in general, you know, you don't have to be controlled by people who, you know, that's where they get their power, you know, out of controlling people. You know?
And there's a time where you have to let go, where you realize you've gone over that line, and you shouldn't have been controlling in the first place. Advising and directing is one thing,
Being
and that's
an example,
Yes.
living as example.
and directing our children in, and you know, that's what we're supposed to do. But to condemn them and then to keep condemning them, and then you see it all the time on Dr. Phil, where this parents and the children are so separated, and it's over things that happened decades ago.
And
It's
that's
so,
the-
and it's
that's
so
the-
ridiculous. And then
Yeah.
this same mindset as they're sitting, and you can just
Well, that's Einstein's. You can't solve the problem in the same mindset.
yes, that's right.
You know, and that's why I don't understand the war. Okay, well, they're gonna, you know, do a negative, so let's do a negative back. And it's like, well, you know, that's not making sense. If, as Einstein said, you know, that this theory is true, you know, and the problem can't be solved in the same mindset, well, a mindset of war does not solve a mindset of war.
Right.
If what
right.
he's saying. So, you know, if a mindset of peace, and there again, you know, where is that control coming in?
Right, right. And it's you have, you know, that saying, you have to know when to hold and know when to fold. And a lot of people do not know when to fold.
Because they're pit bulls and they get a hold of the bone and they ain't letting it go.
Well, so they're holding on to that anger. And the person that you're angry at might have even over the years forgotten about it. But yet you're holding on to that. And what is that doing? It's not healthy for anybody. It's not healthy for the person that's holding on to it.
Those who anger you control you. So how much control do you want to allow another person to have in your life?
Yeah. And you know, I think every parent, maybe every sister, maybe every brother can look at something and say, I wish that person could be this way. Okay, every person can say that. But then you have to sit back and say, that's what I wish that person could be. So what
That's
does that
it.
person want to be? If that's not on their agenda, why am I forcing it on their agenda?
And why is your standard, you know, supposed to be someone else's standard? Or whether, you know, why should your standard, if okay, a person is successful if they are a CEO of a company and they have people working under them, that makes them a success. Or, you're a mailman and you're making a paycheck and you have benefits and that makes you a success. Why do we have to put labels on people saying that, if you become what I want you to become, I will consider you a success, and not for being a success no matter what profession the person chooses.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a hairdresser or you're a garbage man or you work as a waitress or you're a CEO, you're the same as. We're all the same as. No one is more important than another one. Yeah. What do we teach our kids? Oh, well, you're better than that person who lives on the wrong side of the street. Why? Just because they live on the wrong side of the street?
Well, yeah, and right now, the situation right now, we all understand that it's a tough time right now for a lot of people. Yeah. But you know what we have to get out of that mindset and just say we have to get out of that mindset and say, you know what? We've been through this before. We survived before, and being unhappy and miserable doesn't fix it. So I've noticed that. Last week, I was at one of the malls, and every person that went by me, I'd smiled at. And you know what? Almost 9 out of 10 smiled back. And they had frantic looks on their face, and there was...
Like they're shocked that you actually smiled at them.
But you know what?
Yes, it's such a great feeling.
It is. Actually, I had just come out of a store, and there was a mother and a little girl walking together, and I could tell the little girl looked like maybe 7 years old. And they were not happy with each other. Let's just put it that way. It was you could see the body language. This little girl was beautiful. She had her hair braided a certain way. You could tell mom had to do that. And so I could see that they were kind of like, frustrated. Let's just call it frustrated. And so I walked up to them and I said to the little girl, "Your hair looks absolutely beautiful. Did your mother do that?" And she went, "Yes," and you could just see her melt and the mother melt. And I thought, see, sometimes just saying that little compliment.
But they were, again, it was the truth.
Yeah, it was the truth. It wasn't something I made up. It was little girl was absolutely adorable. And so I'm seeing them kind of, in a little bit of a battle mode. But something that simple sometimes will kind of just take you away.
You right out of the negative.
Snap you out of the negative.
That's
and,
it.
Maybe that's something we all need to help each other with right now. So when you're out, wherever you're at, wherever you shop, if you're in the post office, if you're, no matter what you're doing right now, if you could just say a little kind word or a smile, you're going to help yourself, but you're really going to help that person at the same time. So I think
that's it. We never know to whom we're speaking to, and that person that you may be nice to, you just never know to whom you're speaking to.
And then you can go home that day and think, gosh, maybe I made somebody smile.
Yeah,
maybe
it's a great feeling because you don't know when you smile at someone whether that person might be so fed up with the world that they're ready to the world doesn't love me, why should I stay here? They're ready to check out.
That's right. And speaking of that, you know how they have the bell ringers for the Salvation Army? Well, I was at a store, and I won't say the name of it, but it's a pretty common one, and they had the bell ringer out front, and I'm trying to think of what morning it was. I can't remember, but it was very windy and it was cold that day. And she was wrapped up in a blanket and she was ringing that bell, and she had a huge smile on her face. And I could tell she was just freezing. I mean, and I was just awed. So I went up and I said to her, you're just doing a great job. And the look on her face was such shock because right now we're in a time where when you're asking for something, people are frustrated and don't want to give.
Right.
And so maybe the fact that somebody came up and kind of acknowledged her and I was saying it with all sincerity. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, and this lady was not young. I mean, she looked like late 60s, early 70s. Not that that's old, but I mean, this was not.
But a compliment is good for any age. You don't have to.
Yeah.
When I'm out and about, it's like if I see somebody and they're cleaning and the bathroom's clean, it's like, hey, thanks. I really appreciate a clean bathroom. Or a waitress, hey, thanks. I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
When you acknowledge when people are doing good, not always, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. It's, that's not what it's all about. If you want things to change, then you've got to be the person to change.
Lisa, let's do a little experiment this week, you and I.
Okay.
Let's, every time we're out in public, let's smile and kind of keep track of how many people we smiled at. And I mean, you don't have to do it every day, but
but I do it every day.
You
but
do
I
it
just
every
don't
day.
Keep track
Yeah,
of.
and just kind of come up with a percentage in your head and see what kind of reaction you're getting.
Oh, I mean, I'm always smiling at this one and that one, and sometimes it gets under their skin.
Yeah.
So I smile even more.
Some and even saying hello, and even let's kind of keep track and kind of report on it last week to how that worked, because I'm finding right now in such a frustrating time for many families that I seem to be getting more smiles back than I normally did. So maybe
it's that pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward. Yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes till. Okay.
Cool. That clock up there is
yeah.
is fast.
Thank you, Erin.
I
Now,
know,
did you write
really.
down your?
No, I didn't write it down.
Write it down.
I'm trying to think of how to. Oh, I even have 2 voicemails. Aren't I lucky?
Yeah. Somebody was calling during the
10
beginning
calls?
of the show. It was vibrating a lot, and I'm wondering if it was somebody calling,
Somebody really wanted to get a hold of me badly.
or if it was somebody saying maybe that the sound, they could hear something. But that wasn't Grandpa Carl's number,
I'll
was
call
it?
you later.
No, it wasn't Grandpa
Hey,
Carl.
Grandpa Carl.
Yeah, hi. We miss you. Yeah, I hear you're modeling now.
I didn't say.
Yeah, I just that's just a rumor that I heard.
If
on
you
the
want to
street.
know, go to GLoLady on YouTube. A day in our life, or a day in the life. I'm telling you, it's funny.
Oh,
it really
yeah.
is.
Oh.
We'll tell you more about it next week.
And tonight, I just wanted to mention too. Mark and I are going to go to. We're going to be going to that. Yeah, the Byron was talking last week.
Right.
It's a get together. It's a full moon
At the garage?
At the garage, and it's in Biltmore, and hopefully we'll see somebody there, and it's somebody that was watching our show. That would be great.
Yeah.
But
and make sure you go up and say hey to Shannon and the I Ching guy.
yeah,
And let us know if you watch the show. I mean, that would be nice.
yeah.
But that's at the garage at 8 o'clock?
It's 8 o'clock. Yes, it's the garage, and I'm not sure exactly what the address of the garage is, but you could Google it and.
It's down Biltmore.
Yeah,
right off of 25. But yeah, Google.
Off of Sweeten Creek. Yeah, right off of, yeah.
Google the garage.
Yeah, and it's
in
just
Asheville.
off of the main road. I mean, it's just like you
Yeah, right
veer
at the
off.
Y.
And, you know where Fairview Road is? Okay, you turn onto Fairview Road, and it's just on the right. So
right
you're
there?
off of Sweeten Creek, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's called Sweeten Creek there. You know how the streets in Asheville are, how Hendersonville Road becomes Biltmore, and then becomes Broad Street, and then becomes Merriman, then becomes Weaverville Highway, and so I think it's Sweeten Creek there, but
Google it.
yeah, Google it. Yeah, the garage.
Would you put the music on and a photo on the CG, and we will be back in a minute with the I Ching guy and the I Ching lady. You have the music on?
Hello. Hello, Asheville people. You beautiful Asheville people. How are you doing this evening? You doing good? I hope so. I hope so. I hope you're doing good today. We're doing good today. And I should say also, hello, world people. You beautiful world people. Because we are streaming live over the internet now. So...
And that is exciting. It is
Yes.
just really exciting.
So
Maybe somebody in China is watching us.
yeah, if they're allowed to, and
Yeah.
what it is over there.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of them have internet, though.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
So-
like a restriction on it, something like that. I think.
Okay.
I
Well,
think-
we're not X-rated.
Yeah, we're not X-rated now.
Oh.
But yeah, I think there was something like some anti-China, Chinese government YouTube videos, something like that, and they have it set up somehow to where if you're in China and you have internet connection, you can't see those videos, something like that. They've got something
Oh,
like
I
that
didn't
going
realize that.
on. Yes.
Wow.
So they've got some restrictions going on there.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, hopefully they're not restricted because, hey, this is something that they would be interested in, and we're not doing propaganda.
No. We're not going to do. When it comes to governments, we don't talk against them because governments can send someone to assassinate you.
Well, good, Mark. I'm glad you're not going to talk against them then.
The official story is, oh, we love the Chinese government. Yes, it's so great. All that. No problem from us.
No problem from us. That's right.
We don't cause problems.
That's right. So earlier, Mark, there was a little bit of a problem going on with the phones, a technical problem, and so we're really not sure, but we would love somebody to call in and
Oh yeah, we really love that. If someone to call in.
Yeah. And if we could get somebody to call in the next few minutes. If we don't, we have a question here that somebody from the acquaintance at the studio here had written down and wanted us to ask the I Ching. So if we don't get any call-ins, we'll go ahead and do that.
It's nice to have backup, isn't it?
It's nice to have backup. That's right. That's right. Oh, and Mark, I know you saw my what we call my roll in with when I say hello to all the people that are watching us, our friends and
Yes.
neighbors and relatives, and also at a little after 6 I mentioned about Raina, and I don't know if she was able to get her computer on that quick. So again, I just want to say how excited I am that a dear friend of mine has moved back to the area,
Yes.
and I can see her again, and we have so much to catch up on. Last night we caught up for about 2 hours on the phone, an hour on the phone. So
Yes.
yeah, but it's
Was it good catching up?
Oh yeah, it's just so much fun to have her back. So,
Right.
that's the thing about friends. I mean, they're in your life forever.
Yes.
And even though she had been gone, and we basically had lost contact, and I hadn't seen her because I had the accident and all that sort of thing happened. Well, I hadn't heard from her, and she didn't know where I was living. It was like we just started back, right where we always were. So it was like all that time just stood still. We just had fun catching up and remembering,
Yes.
all those things.
Yes, that can happen with that.
Yeah.
If you're watching, Raina, hi. I guess you can see me, but I can't see you, at least not yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because you never really met her.
No, I've just seen her, pictures. Of
And
her.
I think you guys talked a couple times on the computer, way back right after.
Oh gosh, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that was we emailed or something.
Yeah,
like that.
email back and forth a little bit to find out how my condition was back then, and
Yes.
that was before she moved. So anyway, we're glad you're back.
Yes, I'm so glad. I'm really looking forward to meeting you, Raina. Really am. But
So I think I'm not sure if the phones are working, but
one thing too I'd like to mention also is afterwards, as soon as we're through here, we're going to go right to a party at the garage, the Biltmore Village.
Yeah, I mentioned it with Lisa. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What
but go
we're do-
ahead.
Oh okay.
Go ahead.
I was
Yeah, oh,
so
we have a-
busy with the control room stuff. I
Let's
guess
have
I
a
didn't hear
call.
you. I didn't understand you.
You have a
Oh,
call.
I think we have a call. I think I heard the sound of a call.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, and we're gonna go afterwards and meet friends, and it's a full moon.
Full moon.
Full moon, and I said
Thank
that
you.
the other part of that.
Yeah. I think.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question for the I Ching.
Great.
A while back, I had a dream that I was kind of weird, but I had a dream that I was in the middle of the ocean. It was nighttime, and I was on this house that was in the ocean, and I went to the dock, and I was scared, and this pod of dolphins came, and I felt happy or safe. I was wondering what that meant, what they
Now-
were trying to tell me.
Oh,
You're saying the
okay.
pod of dolphins did what?
You were in the middle
They
of the
comforted
ocean.
me. It felt like that they did.
Okay, so you were in the middle of the ocean. What were you on? Were you floating?
I was on some kind of house, like on the porch. I don't know why dreams are weird.
Okay, you were on a porch, floating. A floating porch, okay. And some dolphins came up next to you?
Yeah, and I was scared, and they came to me, and I felt safe.
Okay. Oh. Where are you calling from, honey?
South Asheville.
South Asheville,
South
okay.
But in her dream, what location was she? Does she remember anything about her location?
In the ocean? Do you remember you were just in the ocean, right?
Yes.
Okay, you don't remember what ocean, you just knew that you were floating in an ocean on a porch sort of situation.
Yes.
And some dolphins came up to you. Did they talk to you?
No.
No, but just them coming up to you made you feel safe.
Yeah, like they were telling me it was okay, and I was
Okay.
wondering what that meant.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll do the reading right now. Can you hold on?
Yes.
Are you
Okay.
wanting to know what the dream meant, or did it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. What did that mean? Okay.
Well, how do we want to put? Is this
Okay.
like? Is it a portent of something in the future? Or?
Well, I think the fact that she was scared and the fact that dolphins coming up to her made her feel safe is what she wants to know. What did that mean?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks for the call. Good fortune. All right. So
Okay. So
this
she,
is.
and she was floating on a porch in the ocean, and she was at that point she was nervous.
Dream. Mean. Involving the dolphins. Now in the future, well, that'll be enough for us to remember this.
Okay.
It's another thing too. If you're into any sort of divination, tarot cards, I Ching, runestones, whatever, it's good to keep like a little logbook, because years later, then you can say, what was that prediction I had like a year ago or something? It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember what answer you got, what you received. But if you just do this here, you can always look back and you say, okay, on this exact date, I asked this exact question, and the tarot cards, the I Ching or whatever told me this exact answer,
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
like a divination log.
Okay, so now Mark's going to start the process. So the question is, what did the dolphin symbolize in that situation?
Well, I think it was the whole dream in general.
Okay,
Like, what did the dream mean involving the dolphins?
okay,
Turn into a question mark.
okay. What
Well, I
did the
have a-
dream mean involving the dolphins? Alrighty.
Yes.
So he's going to do the first roll right now
First line.
for the first line.
13, 11. Those are all yangs. That's an
Yang. That's
old yang. It's
it's
getting
an
ready to change.
old yang.
So there's going to be a second hexagram involved here.
Okay.
I think it's yin.
It's yin. Okay.
And it's not old.
It's not old. Okay.
It's a young yin.
It's
It's
a
not
young
gonna,
yin.
Not going to be changing.
Okay. Okay. And the third line is going to be
Old Yang again.
Old Yang. Again.
So they have 2 changing lines right here.
2 changing lines in this.
Generally, when the more lines that change, the more complex the situation is. Yang.
Yang. Is that a young Yang?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I see. I'm
That's the
still
Yang.
learning. Mark studied this for quite a while, but I'm just the apprentice.
Yes, I Ching apprentice. I'm the evil Sith Lord, and you are my apprentice. And one day you will be a powerful Sith lady. Alrighty, that would be, that would be Yin.
Yet Yin, a young Yin.
Oh, yeah, not changing.
Okay.
Not an old Yin.
Alrighty.
Line number 6. Oops.
Okay.
That would be Yin.
Yin. Okay. So you had 2 changing lines.
Yes. Which one was it? Was it that one?
It was
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
2 changing lines. All right. So he has rolled for the 6 lines, and now we'll see what hexagram that is.
Yes.
And that's his very important book right there. That's the one I see him go to a lot.
Yes, it's very, very functional. That is Fire Under Thunder.
Fire Under Thunder.
Fire Under Thunder.
Okay. And that is hexagram number
55.
Hexagram number 55. Fire Under Thunder.
And hexagram number 55 means abundance or fullness. And the fortune is enjoying smooth good fortune. However, complacency, neglect, and relaxed efforts will lead to a decline in your fortune. At the same time, you have the luck of being able to earn a great sum of money. But avoid being extravagant, wasteful, and vain. The possibility exists that being too much in the spotlight will lead to being cheated or involvement in some trouble. For those involved in the arts and in cultural endeavors, a future of unlimited prospects.
Oh, for the hexagrams? Yeah. Is it in there, honey?
Yes, it is. Wait a second. Turn off your mic.
Thank you, Lisa. Okay.
Sorry about that, folks. That was a little technical difficulty there.
Okay, so
no
what?
problem.
So, what do you think that was saying right then?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, smooth good fortune, however, complacency, neglect, and relaxed efforts will lead to a decline in your fortune.
Okay, so as you're going along in life right now, be careful. I would say what they're saying is be careful. Stay on the correct road, and don't veer off right now. So maybe this.
Yeah. Avoid that complacency,
Yeah.
neglect, relaxed efforts.
Kind of be aware of everything that's around you.
Yeah, the luck of being able to earn a great sum of money, but avoid being extravagant, wasteful, and vain. The possibility exists that being too much in the spotlight will lead to being cheated or involved in some trouble. For those involved in the arts and in cultural endeavors, a future of unlimited prospects.
Okay.
Let's see.
So I think it's kind of just like a a confirmation of sometimes the road gets a little bumpy, but not to panic, to stay on the road. And maybe that's a little bit what the dolphins were symbolizing there.
Yeah, but that complacency and all, I think it's like sounded like a warning to me.
That
Really.
part did, yeah.
Like it's saying, hey, don't be starting to get all complacent and relaxed.
Yeah, grow, and
Maybe be a little bit vigilant. Watch your step.
watch your step, yeah. And now you're doing the changing line, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we had two changing
We had
lines.
two changing lines, so there's more to this one, and that was the first part of it.
Two changing lines. This was hexagram 55, wasn't it?
Yes. Okay. This is 55.
Now, the first line changing means associating with someone whose goals are similar to your own will now bring you clarity and energy. It is not a mistake to continue in this close relationship until the project is complete.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
so whoever you
yeah.
are currently with, do your goals together. I think it's saying strength in numbers.
Yes. That is, if she's associating with someone with similar,
Yeah.
whose goals are similar to your own.
Uh-huh.
The third line changing is kind of amusing. Incompetence is at its zenith. Be patient.
Oh,
So in other words, stupidity, incompetence it's at its peak now.
okay.
It's not going to get any worse.
Yeah, it's gonna
to settle down some.
things will get better for you. Have a goal and go toward it. Maybe there's a certain type of career you want or something that you're thinking of, and go forward for it. So, yeah, that makes sense. And the caller by the voice sounded like she was younger. So she's probably just starting out her career right now and starting out her life. So it's
Or the project
or the
it's
a
mentioning.
project. Just be a little bit patient with it and keep moving forward. Don't give up in whatever you are going after right now. Just kind of hang in there, so to speak.
Yes, and it's gonna change in the future. I Ching is saying it's going to change in the future to hexagram number 16, which means enthusiasm.
Ah,
The fortune, everything will go as hoped, but you cannot relax and be idle or negligent. Again, we're getting this
wow,
again.
we're getting that again. So that's something to really pay attention to.
If you are, everything will go as hoped, but you cannot relax and be idle or negligent. Sounds like another call came in. If you are, you will bring bad luck and bitterness upon yourself. At the same time, you must discipline yourself in your private life and put your personal papers and documents of proof in order so as to protect yourself against some unexpected trouble or complication.
Okay.
Moreover, beware of robbers. I hear another call coming in.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So what you are endeavoring right now, don't be complacent. Go forward.
Yes.
Keep at it, and don't and do everything you need to do. We have another call,
What's
and
up,
so
yes.
we should be able to go ahead and take the question and answer it next week
Oh, yeah, we're at the very
because
end.
we're just
Okay.
about out of time. So caller, are you there?
What's your first name, caller?
No, I'm afraid to turn up my TV.
Oh, okay. Where are you calling from? We're just, curious to see where are people watching us. Caller, are
Hello?
you there?
Are you there, caller?
Hello.
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 It's a pleasure to meet you. I love your show.
Thank
you.
you. Pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
I can't hear you quite well, but my question is, I feel a deep connection with somebody, and I'm wondering if I should continue this or let it go so I can maybe close the door to open another one if it's stunting the energy, or if I should continue with this.
Okay. You're feeling a deep connection for a person currently, correct? And you're wondering if you should keep. Can you hear me?
Keep it open to
Okay.
see where it goes.
or close the door?
Yes.
That's an either-or question. We're going to have to.
Yeah, we're going to have to word it a little bit differently.
Are you really wanting to stay with the person?
I feel a really deep connection. I feel that there's definite possibility it can go somewhere,
Okay.
and we can learn a lot from each other. However, I feel I may be wasting my time.
Okay, you're just, okay. Well, what about if we worded it that you are...
I'm thinking maybe we should word it like, what will be the effect of staying with him, and then what will be the effect of leaving him. We're going to have to ask.
Break it into two questions.
Yeah, we're going to have.
What will my future hold, and what will be the effect be if I stay with him versus what will...
And then I have to ask another one.
And
What
then
will
we
be
have
the
to ask
effect if we
another.
stay with him?
That'd be great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll break that into two different questions, my dear, and we will do that first thing on our show next week when we start at 6:30.
Yes. Your
Okay.
Your question will be our first. We'll bring it up again, so the viewers and everyone else is right in case they forgot what the question was, and we'll ask. We'll go ahead. We'll have already asked I Ching these questions and find out for you.
Yes.
How about that?
Is that good?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, and I hope
Yes.
you have a wonderful week.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
fortune. Good fortune.
Great. Well, that was a good question.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a good one.
It's a very good question. And so what we will do is we will, at the beginning when we start it, we have another question. Oh, okay. At the beginning of the show next week, we will definitely ask that question first. Okay.
Yes.
We'll definitely ask that question.
Well, we'll
first.
have it asked. We'll just give the answer.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess.
actually, we'll go ahead and work it up. Okay, and we'll have the answer for you. And we've just gotten the 2-minute signal, and so is there anything you would like to end this with, Mark, tonight, or?
I don't know. We can just take something random out of here.
Okay, we really appreciate the call-ins too, because
Yes.
it is something that Mark has a great passion for, and having the ability to help you is very important to us. So. And I'm learning more every time you call in a question, and I'm watching Mark. I'm learning more too. It's interesting. It's very involved.
Well, let's just not forget to name what the book I Ching means. The title, it means Book of Changes, as in nothing stays the same. Things are always changing from this or a little bit more to that and all that. And you just have to be aware of those changes and, be able to adapt to them.
Yeah. And remember this week, smile. Okay. do me a favor, and when you're in a store somewhere and you see somebody in that kind of frowny look because they're exhausted, smile. And we love you and thank you for joining us. We'll
Yes,
see you
indeed.
next week.
Until then, good fortune.